you come here. Welcome to this one exciting video. We're going to talk about ignore the goal that I've got. I've been having stop nose throughout last 17th to 17th of April. Let's see how this goes. Welcome to this one exciting video where we are going to talk about 5-step automation for your level 3 members. Now, I have been keeping the mic closer to me and the mic is getting pulled by itself over there, and it's like, okay, you stay here for now. Thank you so much for tuning in this video. Ignore the board. This is like the family reminder sort of a thing. It's rather than this, the intention was to teach you with this board when I bought it for the first time, and then the intention changed to be the family board, reminders and stuff within the family. So just ignore whatever happens over here and focus on what I'm going to say over here. Focus on this part. We're going to talk about this one. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. And the step number 1 for automation for your level 3 online members. Now when we talk about level 3 online members, so we had cold audience, we had warm audience, we had hot audience, 3 types of audiences who haven't paid you money. Then we had level 1, level 2, level 3 members. Now these are your members. They have paid some amount of money to you. Now the way we do things in the Academy of Art and Scientists, the level 1 is all about the basics. Basics, theory, practical stuff, experience stuff like that people need to know. The level 2 talks about the game plan. You handhold and teach them how to do skateboarding. You handhold and tell them the benefits and not the disadvantages. You tell them in depth and the skills they need, the qualities they need to have, stuff like that. You go in depth and talk about the things they need to give them the proper game plan. And this is what has to be done, because when you want to do skateboarding, it's just not like you wear the shoes and go skateboard. It's not like that. You need to have you need to be doing things psychologically. You need to be doing things very, very, very in depth so that it becomes easy for you. Level 3 is the part where it all talks about the actions. It talks about the implementation. Since you've prepared in these 2 levels, now this is more on the lines of your high ticket program where people want to invest and start taking those actions once they were already prepared about, once they were already primed about. So level 3 is it's going to be 25 to 30 days of a challenge for the challenge that you're going to give for your community, but it is going to be even more serious where people start taking those actions and you have to drive them forward. So what are the sequences that you need to be having? What are the step-by-step automation wireflow that you need to be having? Step number 1 is the moment someone makes a transaction in your Razorpay account, you catch the hook in Zapier, you catch the hook. Step number 1. The moment the Razorpay payment is made, you catch the hook. Step number 2 is the moment a trigger has been made, like someone has paid you money, Fazal Ahmad has paid you money. What do you do with them? Second step is you enter me into a worksheet within the master sheet that we speak about, in a separate worksheet that you build under the name of level 3, whatever the number. For us, it is the artist challenge / artist garnet, right? Artist challenge / artist garnet. So what happens is a new row is been created with it. Step number 2. The moment the new row is created, step number 3 is you are now being added, or you add your community members in ConvertKit. In the sequence of ConvertKit level 3, the name of the level 3, you add them into that level 3 sequence over there, so that you create a specific sequence for those people who have made the transaction has gotten over here. Now they do not get removed from the previous list, but then now they are being added to a new list where you talk to them differently. You share them step by step things to do, what they have to be doing next. If you've got like 30 days of challenge, what I do is when there is a 30 days of challenge for that particular level, I have set more than 35 to 40 emails for them, which goes on a daily basis. Now why do I have 40 emails for 30 days? Is introductory mails goes 3 times a day. Like the day 0, the moment you make a transaction, you receive a mail 1, mail 2, mail 3 immediately within an hour, so that one talks about what you've invested in, one talks about the steps, one talks about rules of engagement, and you come on the next day, maybe 7th day, I've got like 2-3 more emails for you. It's a matter of 30 days of challenge, but then 40 days, 40 sequences set all together. So on a daily basis, you are just telling them and hand holding people, not just telling them, it's like you watch this, but then you tell them, you send them a mail. It's like you click the link over here on a specific time, you go watch that video that I for you. What that builds accountability, that builds momentum. It's like you just did not made money, but you made money, yes, but then you also are telling the people, okay, I've made money from you, but now I'm going to help you even more, going out of the way what I'm doing and handhold you and take you to different levels. So what you're doing, that is sending them daily mails on the automation. You don't have to sit and write every time a member gets transacted, every time a member gets upgraded to your level 3, but you set an equals for so many people, and the moment the moment that transaction is made, like be it like 2 people at the same time, maybe 10 people at the same time, you just get the money, you just get the automations flowing. That's why the automations are important. Step number 4 is the moment the transaction is made, they get enrolled in the level 3 course in the Teachable platform. So it's again some automation. You don't have to enroll them manually here, but then here maybe you may be manually enrolling them when you don't have money, when you're tight on budget. But then by this time, generally you'll be making 10 to 15,000 rupees, maybe 20,000 rupees from one person who gets into your level 3. And say, if you want to invest in the Teachable platform, that's like $120, say around 11,000 rupees. Around 11,000 rupees. So what happens is now you've money with you. You need to invest in the money back, right? So step number 2, enrolling them into Teachable platform, Teachable specific course that they have transacted for, that made an intention and made a transaction for. Step number 5 talks about you enroll them. Again, the trigger happens the moment the coach catches hook. The Zapier catches the hook and raises the. Step number 5 talks about you add them to your webinar or your meeting on Zoom, where you are doing a specific mastermind for that specific close community. And level 3 members, you do not have a lot of level 3 members as compared to level 1, level 2. So you just need to have that handful of people who have made a decision to be a part of your community, made a decision to be a part of your level 3, and just talk to those members very tactically, very strategically, because the conversation will be way different in this category of people than level 1 and level 2, because level 1, level 2, the whole crowd will be there on level 1. Level 2. Level 3 is where we will have less number of people, but who are more inclined in terms of taking action. So you just have to have that different type of conversation with them, help them on tactical. Yesterday I was having a conversation with one of the members where around 12:30 she messaged me for them facing this challenge, and I was like, hey, I never faced that challenge, so I don't know, I cannot help you there. Immediately after sending the message to her, I was like, okay, that was not the right message that should have been sent. What I did was I sat with the situation like, this is what she's facing. Okay. If Fazil was facing this one challenge, what would Fazil do? I opened the Google Sheet, I opened the ConvertKit account, I opened the different account that I've got, I opened everything, and I started doing what she was actually doing, and I was stuck at the same place where she was stuck, and I was like, okay, why is this happening? Okay, I did things in a different way. It took me like 5 to 7 minutes to understand what is supposed to be happen. Since I've got like experience in the tactical part of it, the strategical part of it, the technical part of it, the tactical part of it. So I was like, I was able to figure these things out in like say 5 to 7 minutes, and it just took me a matter of 7 to 10 minutes where I was completely understood. Okay, this is what she was facing, this is what I was facing, this is one way of doing it, this is the alternate way of doing it. The moment I got the answers, I immediately messaged her back saying, I'm really sorry about sending you the earlier message. Now after sending that message, I felt bad. What I did my own research, I did my own experiment over here, and there are 2 ways of doing this. And I said, okay, the option way 1 is just you do this one. If you don't succeed in doing this, there's an alternate way of doing it. When you do this, let me know if you've got any problems with that. I hope this helps you. Like, push the message out to her. Immediately within like 30 to 45 minutes, she messaged me back again. She's like, Fazil, both the ways worked. First was a bit tactical, but adding the second layer of the option, it made things very easily. I was able to successfully import people from this place to that place, and I was like, okay, give me that help. It just took a matter of 7 to 10 minutes of me involving myself in what I was doing, because it was specifically because of the level of the member that she was for me. It's like going out of the way, point being going out of the way and being there for people, because in level 3 is where the people need your assistance because they're stuck at some point very critically. Because for example, if you're teaching people skateboarding and they've fallen from the skateboard, they cannot wait for the next day for you to respond to them. They cannot wait like even 3 hours for you to respond to them. You need to be very carefully being there with them, holding them accountable, and helping them with their issues. Thank you so much for making this one video a part of your day, me a part of your day. This topic / podcast, how you're listening, a part of your day. Probably these are not going to be podcasts because these are more tactical visions, and podcasts will not seem that practical for me. 5 steps. Cash or get razor pay, get them into a neuro convert kit sequence of level 3 specifically. Level sequence step number 4 is enrolling them into teachable course for that teachable level 3 course, specific course, and enrolling, adding them into a webinar sequence, Zoom meeting / webinar for that specific mastermind. Thanks so much. I'm going to see you in another video that I'm going to record next. I don't know when you're going to see that, but then that's what I'm going to plan. I'm going to record immediately after like 2 minutes. Is only 7 email sequences you need, the beginner version. I'm going to record that. Do the window shopping. You'll find somewhere over here. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you there.